Hi, welcome back to our series Own It. And today we both, Gunjan and I, are so excited because today is the last episode of our Own It series. And we are thankful to everybody who has been watching our videos so religiously and have been giving us, so many feedback, because of which we have been working further and better in each of our videos. And today's video is Own Your Vocation. Vocation is like something you work on, your passion, your purpose of life, and how we actually owned our purpose of life and what was our journey towards being entrepreneurs and the thing that we love and doing it successfully. That is what we are going to share in this video. And along with that, we also have a surprise for you all, that after this Own It series, our mission was actually to build a community, to have people who are like-minded and help them also own their true self, own their emotions and own their success. So after this series of videos that we have made, now we are going to announce our workshop, which is all about building your vision towards your work life, towards your entrepreneurial journey, and leading a happy life that is full of emotions. That is your superpower. So Gunjan, what do you have to say about it?
Nothing, I'm just excited. I'm excited, and I'm also thinking about looking back that when we started, it was like so much fun and enthusiasm, and I still have it. So that's the fun part of it. Yeah. That I'm excited about the workshop we're gonna do afterwards, to even share all of this, share all of this experience and give them things which they can work on and they can also be awesome. That's the end result of everything. So that's what. Yeah. So for today, I'm also excited that we're going to talk about our entrepreneurial journey. We're going to talk about our struggle with this, and to figure out that what our vocation was and how we are owning it, right? Absolutely. So if you start with, I just want to know, when did you know about that this is it? This is what you're going to do?
For me, actually, it was understanding, as I said in my previous video also, that understanding my negative emotion and understanding the message of the negative emotion made me feel that now it's time that I don't want to be an employee anymore and I want to, step into the shoes of an employer. It was when I could sense that, the toxicity of my workplace is taking a toll on me and I have to, just cut the cords and detach myself. And then when I took the certification and became an official life coach, that is when I thought that, now I want to do things on my own terms. I had been somebody who literally got from A to Z that organization where I worked. I helped them with, the publicity, the management and everything. And I was like, I did it for somebody else and I have the skills, because a lot of people, while I was in that job, used to come and tell me that, Uzma, you're meant to do things which are bigger. It was just that I was so contented and happy in what I was doing that I never thought that I am meant to do such big things. I thought I'll do big things here only. But then a lot of people kept saying that, Uzma, we used to be shocked seeing you there because we felt that you are meant to do something big. And then I was like, yeah, I can do and I'm meant to do. And that's when I took this decision that now it's going to be me, myself and my own brand. And that's how I started my journey of being an entrepreneur. What about you?
So for me, I think the way you said it, that you always felt that you're going to do something big, it was same for me since the beginning. I think I've been entrepreneur since I would say college or something, because I was always at it that I need to do something which gives me financial freedom, which gives me freedom of doing my own thing in my own way, So that came in and I did before starting this muted space. I also did for 1 year, I did this business of doing displays. It was very funny because I did displays in the weddings, in Indian weddings. So I used to set up this entire, buffet to make it look good, and that was the business. And I did that, and no one get it. No one ever got it. What is it? What exactly you do? I was I just go there to eat food. That's it. But it was so much fun. So that I did when I was 23. So I guess for me, it was always there inside me that I can't be an employee. Or I can't be under something where I would not get like freedom of doing what I want to do, because I did understood myself, like that I had different perspective. I did understood that I don't go by the rules per se. And then in the end, like which I also said in the last one of the videos, that I was a bad employee. So I was like, after once I noticed that, and I noticed all my patterns like that, it's like, I think this is not happening. I just can only survive when I do something for my own self, you know? And then that's how the muted space started, because muted space also started that, like, I also felt that I could bring something like different than what is already there, and like to the links which I thought was missing in the terms of working in my life and everything. I thought that gonna be it. Like, and muted space was always like the idea that it has to grow in some different direction, you know, like it has to grow. And the part of like people telling you that you're gonna be big, and I truly believe that, because there is a part of you like which you always know that there is something else. There is something bigger which you have to do. It's just that we denying to it sometimes, because we're like, but we want easy life. But I was like, no. Life doesn't want you to be easy, you know. That's how it was. So this is how like my that was in 2018 when I started that. But then I also fell back to it. But no, before that, like, we can talk about also that that how was the journey for you though? You know, it's like something you want to ask or like share. Yeah.
You know, Gunjan, this is so interesting, and I love this about our combination also, that we both have had such opposite journeys and way of, you know, coming to the common thing on which we collaborated. Because in your case, you knew it since the start that you want to be, you know, like an entrepreneur, and I never thought of that. I was happy being an employee and, you know, this thing. And it was for you, it was the internal validation you already had. And for me, it was the external validation that made me feel that, yeah, everybody is saying that, then there should be something that I am meant to do. Because I always, and this point that you said, oh my God, is so true, that kind of, you know, you get into your comfort zone. So for me, since I was always taken as a celebrity everywhere I would go in Lucknow, I would see students and, you know, they coming to me, wow, Uzma ma'am, we are so, you know, grateful that you have taught us and all that. So because of that, I was very happy in that bubble. And I knew if I step out of it, I'll have to struggle and work hard to show my identity, which I am doing right now. But, you know, but when I did my, like, you know, when I started Educate to Elevate, or I became a life coach, I did realize that this is such a powerful thing. As a coach, you can touch lives of so many people. And one of the key reasons that motivated me was that I have to, like, get connected with a broader, you know, audience, and that would not happen being in that particular organization. I want to help more people. Like, that is like my dopamine and my happiness, that I thrive on that, you know, when I see that I have helped somebody. And that was one thing that really made me take this decision that yes, now I'm going to, like, you know, work and not only confine myself to Lucknow or Uttar Pradesh. It would be, and it helped me. I mean, within like, it's been 3 years of Educate to Elevate, and I have been able to, like, globally conduct workshops and get connected with people. But here, you know, we both have had these like, you know, struggles and happy things, and we chose, you got to know, I got to know the purpose of our life. But you know, this point which is there, Gunjan, that nowadays it's very much there, you know, it's like it's in vogue, it's in fashion to be an entrepreneur, and I feel a lot of people get influenced by that also. But I feel the first step to start is to know that whether you are meant for it or not, because being an entrepreneur is not easy. You know it, I know it, and like, you need to understand your personality first, because unless you know that, you may start it, but then you may fail at it, and then this you'll have the stigma on yourself, because our inner critic is always ready to bash us. So that will always be there as a regret in your life. You did something and you failed. So since you are such a pro in, you know, helping people and guiding them on their personality types, what is your opinion on this?
Yes, I totally agree that there is first the inner work of understanding that if you can go through this, like, because it's not an easy life. I do remember that when I started, there were like a lot of people who would be like, I do want to do this. I really want to be like, want to start my own thing. I want to do that. And I used to just look at them and it's like, are you happy with where you are? Like, in the sense you like what is your life is and everything, then don't even think about it. I was like, it's be there, just stay there, because that's the thing. It's like, I also like maybe started my journey like way before I should have, but okay, it's all about the part and parcel, like, and it's also about the life, how it needs to come. Because I thought about it that like if someone would have taught me that like, okay, you need to first figure out way lot of things before starting this journey, I would have totally done that, not to step into it. And personality is also about that, the things which we also gonna do in our workshops, that to figure out your archetypes, like to figure out who you really are and what is like your calling is. That's very important. Because for me, I knew for the beginning I want to do something. I knew that, okay, my personality did show that like I'm way more independent, So this part, like I also learned by it that, oh, okay, I know this is, and if I see someone who wants to be structured or who wants to be like given the work and everything, I think they should also know that this is not going to be the right life, because no one is going to tell you anything here, It's like no one comes to you and tells you like that this is what you should do. It's like it's you figuring out. So that's a thing I feel that yes, everyone has to have that personality check or to relate themselves that, okay, how much commitment they want to give it to it. Because I think entrepreneurship is just not doing like work which you love. It's about committing to it, because some days you hate that as well, So yeah, so that's what I totally believe in. So did you also feel that like that the personality did matter to you as well?
Absolutely, because the way now people look down upon the 9 to 5 job, I think that has to be stopped, and people should understand that it's okay if you have a job. You don't have to like be very cool that you say that I have a business, or if somebody is doing job like doesn't matter, you're leading a normal life. No, that's good. And if you feel, as you said, your life to have that certainty, if you're not somebody who gets like hyper and you have anxiety because of uncertainty, then you should not opt for the life of an entrepreneur. And that's absolutely okay, because that's how your personality is. And truly, as in our workshop also, we are going to dissect it and help each of our participants in this thing only, that you will be able to understand what your personality and what works for you. And that, I think, is a game changer, because even as a trainer, when I joined in an organization, I always enjoyed working as a manager and helping people and all those things, that I was happier doing that. And that made me feel and realize that yes, this is something, I mean, I can take care of 2-3 branches in one organization. I can do it for myself as well. I have that, brand within me. And that is how I understood that my personality is meant to be an entrepreneur and do something where I can have people under me. I can be a good leader. So I think personality works. And recently when I went to Delhi to conduct a workshop, there I felt that the one of the owners of that place, I did feel she herself said that I am not good with management. She's very creative. She can give a lot of creative, input. She knows aesthetically, she's very good with her craft. She's very good with people, like, the customers. Like, people come to that place only because the name of Aisha. That is her brand. But she's not good with management. So there, when we were doing that, her business coaching and everything, we came to that part that you hire a person. People have, who lead a business. If they are not able to do, they hire a CEO who is able to do things for them, and they are only giving the creative input. So that really worked for her. So even when you are an entrepreneur, there also you should understand what your personality is, what are your strengths and weaknesses, so that you can hire the right person actually to make your business successful, isn't it?
Yes, that's so true. It's like, because the point which you said, that it needs to be that if you're not sure about your certainty, then I think it's not it. Because the life of uncertainty you live with, because I think that's also a personality, right? That you love adventure. You love to play with everything. So when you have that, like that, you keep going the part which we talked about, that you're going broke, but you're still like happy about it, because this is it, like, because you love that, like, and that's why you fall in love with being entrepreneur as well. So I totally agree. Like anyone who has anxiety issues with it, I think no. That's no. It's like I'm not saying that not every person is not meant to be. You know, it's like it's more about that you also rely like this part personality which we are talking about that because once you know the personality, you can also learn lot of other aspects to become that because you know like and that's what I feel that like that till the time you don't have that courage of like going out of the like you know comfort zone and you want to learn and grow, then it's no point. I think then you should just like enjoy it. It's really it was fun. The 9 to 5 job was also fun. I had like limited holidays though, but yeah. I
Yeah,
managed like that's how it is.
that's true.
True.
So now moving ahead, we took that step. You knew you want to be an entrepreneur. I knew that. And then we started. Now, when we started, or when I started, so one big learning that I had, Gunjan, and I would like to know how your journey also unfolded, was that I started and immediately as I announced and everything, I started putting things on social media. I got the name. My mom chose this name. So I was super happy that, you know, this is a kind of an emotion. And immediately I got my first workshop from Delhi University, which is a very big thing. Everybody was like, wow, like, you know, you are so lucky you got it and all that. And then got 2-3 good assignments and workshops. And after that, I was like, okay, what next? Now what? Because then came a point where I did not know how to go further, how to actually make it bigger and monetize because I left my job. It was not that I was doing it along with the job. And then I was like, okay, I have to meet the month's ends. I have so many things to pay and this and that. My car's EMI was still going on at that time. So there was a lot of stress. And then when I got one of my, knowledge partners as my collaborator, Nandaji. She and I, when we started working, she told me that let's first make a vision of how we are going to work further. Even for a single masterclass or workshop, we used to make a mini vision and what is going to be the intention, what are we aiming at as the number of participants. And that was a game changer for me, Gunjan. I realized that without vision, no matter how much investment you have, what all infrastructure you have, an entrepreneur is handicapped. A business needs that because that gives you a clear blueprint, a clarity that how and where in which direction you want to move and how much energy are you supposed to give in a particular project or work. So I think vision, and yes, that's going to be our workshop also, which we are going to have after this last video of ours. This is how I learned the importance of vision, and not only in work, in my personal life, in my health, in my relationships. Now I'm very meticulous about, making my vision boards, creating my vision in everything, even for my personality, that how I want to be after a year, how I see myself in my confidence in everything. How has been this, part of vision been for you?
Listening to you, it's just like, oh my god, we are two opposites. It's like everything is like so different to it. Because the way you said, like, okay, the way you started and you got like a really good kick that you did it didn't happen to me. When I started, I always tell everyone I was very delusional. I thought that I'm gonna make it really big within 1-2 years. It's like it's gonna be like this big that I'm gonna have that team. I was already up to get to that level in the first year. But that didn't happen. It's like once I got out of the industry, like no one knew. So I had to build it, like I had to get back to everything to get more clients. But one thing I know this, that the vision part, I did make a vision. I like my Mirror Space page had all of that thing which I wanted to do at that time. In the sense, I knew that I wanted to do these kind of workshops where you can teach people, like, and like self-learn and everything. I knew like that, like I'm gonna do the collaboration more than having a team. I knew that it's not gonna be a office and everything. So I do remember now that my vision was there. Only thing which I didn't have was like how to get it started and believe in it, And for me, the difference was like that this part, uncertainty came in, like that where you don't have money, and then I had to change my work. So instead of moving into this direction, which we are doing now after like 6 years of it that I started, it's like that time I just went into like, okay, I will get what is easy, what I can do and I can make money into. And then my entire business kind of changed at that moment, and then I just went running because, again, money constraint does make you do things which you don't want to, but you have to do it in the end, you know? So mine was like, so, and now then after I went through all of that part of struggle, that I finally made a name like that, okay, people know it, like, and also that I'm getting, and then I also started liking my work like that way, the other client work. But now I feel that I'm finally working on it now, because now I know, because vision is one thing, working on the vision is the way to get a different story, which we are doing now.
I agree.
So yeah,
I agree to that.
exactly. So it's so crazy that I was so delusional, but you got it.
No, but then at the end of the day, that delusion, that daydreaming helped you out. No, you knew.
Yeah.
Even if it happened after many years, but you knew that it is going to happen.
I know, it's crazy. It's like, because I think I kind of forgot also that vision, because at certain point you do forget, because you just go into day-to-day life. And when I again redid my website and I again redid all the working, I realized it's like, I already knew this, you know? It's like, I knew that I had to do this, like, and okay, it just took time. That's all it is. That's what also happens in entrepreneurship. You have good ideas, write it down. They will happen, but not right now. That's all you have to know.
And these are some of the points that we are going to dive deeper in our workshop also, that, you know, going back to your vision is also something that you should remember, because then it clicks. You get busy in the everyday hustle and then you forget that what was exactly the vision. So, you know, doing it and, you know, kind of examining it after some point of time, that where you have reached and how much is left is also important.
Yes, that's for sure. But yeah.
So, you know, talking about this daily thing and getting into, you know, every day, the uncertainty part, I feel there, you know, it, especially when from an employee, when you become, you know, a business person or an employer, there has to be a drastic mindset shift, I feel, Gunjan, you know, because there is always a fear that, you know, that if you go late, your salary will be deducted. You have to perform well, then only you will get your incentives. And here you are the boss. People are looking up to you to perform, and there is nobody to tell you what to do. So in such a case, it's also very important that you have to have a check on yourself. Because for me also, that, you know, I started my Educate to Elevate in COVID. So COVID itself was such a time where, you know, you already needed that energy to get up from your bed and start doing. We all became very lethargic at that time initially, you know, and we were all, half of the world was busy making TikToks and recipes on Instagram. Nobody was thinking of work.
We baked we also baked like some bread. I remember that. Yeah.
And the coffee beating, the viral coffee beating.
Banana bread, now I remember.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, you know, and then because of getting into that zone now, being on your toes in every day, because if I don't work for a day, nobody is going to question me. But it is important, I realize this thing, and there have been days where I have been a total, you know, sloth, and I did not feel like doing the work, and then I would remember, oh my God, I have deadlines to deliver to my clients and everything. But I do feel now, but I got a thrashing from my coach, because a coach has coach, remember that. I mean, it's awesome to have a coach in your life. So then I got, you know, understood this thing that yes, nobody is going to tell me, and this is how I'm going to screw up my work life. So I got strict with myself. I started checking, I made a proper scheduler that this is how I'm going to work. Every day starting with writing my things to do and, you know, delivering it. And it is, I think, the need of the hour. And if you don't have that self-check, it becomes really difficult to be a business person. How are you when it comes to, you know, this thing, being motivated?
Yeah, so I feel this is exactly the point. The part of self-discipline is very important, and it doesn't come easy once you make the transition from the employer to be the boss, because we take it for granted. We actually don't realize that how easy they have developed this entire process, like that we just have to do this, they ask us to do that, we do our own to-do sheet like with the people, and that's it. But all the other things which comes with it, like you have to manage the finance, you have to manage the motivation of the people you're working with, you have to manage your own emotions. Then you have to manage your personal life with this professional life, and you have to manage clients, you have to do everything. Then it just started getting to you, like it's like, oh, this is something which was they were giving for that money, you know. It's like then you start like, okay, it's like, oh, that makes sense. Then I would not be asking for like so much money because it's like they made that. But for me, it was like a long process because I was not self-disciplined person. I was not like, I was more of a spontaneous. I was more of like, do what I feel and how I feel. So working late nights, like working when, you know, when the panic attack mode comes in. So that was my motivation level, how it used to work. But I used to do good. I also made this thing that like, if I work for 4 hours, I give all and that's it. And but those 4 hours sometimes used to start at 12 at night. So, you know, it's like that kind of a struggle that I was just like, okay, this is gonna get tough. It's gonna keep tough, like, and if I'm not gonna grow. So then I also had to do this learning by myself that like, okay, self-discipline is way more important than what I thought it is. Like having your own routines is important. Having your way of working is important. And good thing it's like that I had chance like to work with a lot of international clients, right? I also had chance to work here in Germany for like different companies, and you learn from their way of organizing. So this helped me a lot because I picked it up like things which resonated well, like someone who does like to do in this sense, someone who do like review for themselves this sense. So I just picked it up and I made my own way of company work, you know, because now I have a set of things which I can take it and give it to the people who are gonna join me. So this is how it works. So yeah, but like, yes, as I said, it's not like, I think that's also, we should incorporate somewhere to teach.
In fact, when you have people, in your team, you have hired people, that is also one thing that keeps the self-check in you. Because I know in the morning, my team is waiting for instructions, what they have to do for the day. So if I am not prepared in time, they will not be able to do their work in time. And they're already, you know, in the morning, they themselves message, ma'am, what is the work for today? They're so sweet, those kids are. And, you know, so I'm like, okay, even if I'm in some lethargy mode, like, okay, I'll just, you know, slog for 1 or 2 more hours and then start. I'm like, my team is also enthusiastic and waiting for me. Let me get on and start working. So I'm like, I give them all the work. So yeah, that also helps.
Yeah, that truly helps. It's like, I think in my early years, like in 2016 to 18, I had these interns like who were working with me. And that makes it even more better because then you have someone you are like responsible for. You know, it's like suddenly these are the people like, and you have to train them or you have to teach them or you have to give them work. So that's also like, because again, the personality part, like you should like that thing as well.
Yes.
It's like, you know, not from the sense that you're a boss kind of thing, but more from the sense that you're actually guiding different people like to work with you. You're making your own tribe kind of stuff. So that kind of a feeling which comes in. Right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And making your own tribe and having people, you know, that reminds me of the fact, and we have talked a lot about it in a few of our previous videos also, Gunjan, is when an entrepreneur, another key factor that really kind of is a deciding factor of your success or failure is, you know, knowing your own values, how you're going to work on it in your own setup and venture, and also like aligning your values with the people you want to work with. Because I've seen a lot of partnerships breaking or a lot of businesses falling down only and only because the value systems of two people did not match. And even if both the people were very bright and, you know, talented, they could not work together because of course there was a mismatch in their thought process and mindset. And even it happens in the clients that you get along with, because I remember Nanda, my business partner, and I, when we were conducting these workshops, and it was like our first international project, so we were very excited. But the person's way of, you know, behaving with us and the way she would work was not, which was very much congenial, and, you know, what was very much, we were not happy doing it. But the fact that we had on our mind that, you know, that it's a global project, let's do it, we did it. But within the first few workshops, we felt that, I mean, this is not happening, you know, in the right way. This is not how we are happy working. we don't like it. She was very much of a micromanager and all those things. So we were like, we like politely bid adieu to the person because it did not work, despite the fact it was a big opportunity. But I think that even if it's big money and if you're not happy doing it, it's okay to have that power to say no, because then the work becomes torture. Anyway, the life of an entrepreneur is tough, and then when you're doing it with somebody which is a mismatch for you, then it becomes even tougher. What you have to say, your forte
I
values.
totally agree. After working with a lot of red flags, I have already understood this, that this is way more important than I thought it was, because I was that kind of a person who will make do. I was very adaptable. I was the person who will get my work done and can manage egos and can get things done. But the part of it is like that one day I was just like, but I don't have to. I don't have to keep doing this, that I don't have to hire people, and because I now my entire criteria of entire work of finding clients or working with the collaboration as well, the way we also collaborated, it's about knowing that what our values are aligned to, because I don't want that anxiety coming in. I don't want, again, the part which we talked about, the emotions in gut feeling and the inner self-talk.
Voice.
So the gut feeling is so right in terms of when you have a client and you just suddenly feel that, okay, this doesn't seem right. Sometimes you can't put your finger on it, like, because you just feel that I don't know this person, maybe you can give benefit of doubt. But I think at that moment you should be like, no, we can't do this. I'm not doing it. And that's where I'm at now also, that I talk to the client, and as soon as I feel there is some or there is a thing which makes you already feel that this is not gonna work, I just say no. And this takes time. I get it, like this takes time, because from the part of uncertainty, lack of money and everything, you just say yes a lot. But in entrepreneurship, just to have your peace of mind should be the major criteria of even getting a client. So now it's also, like that you also become secure. If you have the client who goes with your value system, think about that. You are an honest person. You find a client who's an honest person. You're never going to be anxious or scared about that they're going to take your money. As simple as that. You're not going to be anxious about that they're not going to respect you or they're going to steal things from you. It's like you're not going to be, because this is so important, like, because suddenly you become so good. They don't even give advance, I'll be working, because I know for sure that they're not going to do wrong that way. Because the people who have done wrong, also about those people like that, you feel that like that, okay, you got into the situation, you got wronged because they didn't pay you, they didn't think it. You actually should step back and take like a high road there, because there is no way putting all more stress to that can help you, because that I had to also learn that you have to sometimes let it go there and learn from that this is not what you want to do, because the people who do that, they will have their own way of, like just that they're gonna get the karma bites, what we call it. But that's not our issue. Like our issue is that we need our peace of mind. So I guess like aligning that with you, it gives you the peace of mind for sure. And this is how we also collaborate, It's like that's the part of it. I know.
Because that's how we, I remember when we were discussing and we were making our vision and everything of our workshops and everything, and you said that this has to be like, at ease, because it's our passion project, it's a team project that we're doing. It should not make us anxious. That was the whole idea.
Yeah.
And now that you have talked a little bit about money and all those things, I think another important thing that a person has to learn and, to be an entrepreneur is be comfortable talking about money, which was a big struggle for me. I would like to know your perspective also. But for me, because, being from a service class family, being, middle class family, you have these all limiting beliefs around money, which has been there in my case also. So my mom is still, that, you should, even if you're doing if I go on an elaborate shopping spree, so she would say, don't show it off, don't tell everybody that you have, splurged so much money, it's not good. Or, if I bought this new phone, so she was like, you don't have to tell everybody that you have bought an iPhone and don't show it off and stuff. So that discomfort and that relationship and energy with money, and also speaking about it, because I felt that this behavior pattern was there in me when I was an employee also, because I could not speak up and say to my employer that I need, a raise. This is the time I deserve it. I would feel that they should see my performance, and they're saying it that I am seeing that I'm doing so well, then they should do it on their own. I was never vocal enough to ask for what I deserve. And that kind of did come in my entrepreneurial journey also. And it took me time to learn and understand that it's okay. And now I do. I mean, sometimes I prepare myself. I make my speech also. I used to do it initially if I have to go talk to my client. Okay, I need money. This is that. And it's okay. That was my way of practicing and being comfortable. Everybody, has their own way of doing it. But it took me time and effort, but I intentionally worked on it. That now that I know that I have to, if I have to ask for money, I have to ask for money. I will not feel ashamed about it. I would not expect that clients should give me. They will not understand. They are not there to spend money. I have to ask for it because it's my own hard work. And also not undervaluing my craft. Just because you said, the pressure of accepting money, we take work from anything. Now I don't do that. I'm very picky. It is going to take you time. You might feel, people who are listening to us, that okay, but it's not that easy. We need money. Yeah, initially you may do that, but you commit mistakes and you learn. So maybe you will take one project because of money, but you won't feel nice. But then by the time, you'll be more confident to say no also. How had been your relationship with money talks?
So as I always tell these people, I'm very materialistic. It's like I'm consciously materialistic, but I am a materialistic person. So for me, money is the biggest thing which I would want, if I'm putting any effort. So for me, it was that I would ask a lot, that again, as delusional person could be and have a life which already living in her head. I used to ask way a lot, but I knew that that it was what I would. But then I had to step back to learn and understand that how much money is required and what is it. Still I'm these months, I have given all my time that I'm learning about the way of management, because there is one thing about asking for it. Second thing is knowing the worth of you, your value, your worth, how much you are worth. And then third thing is how you manage it. Because as an entrepreneur, these things you really need to learn. So for me, I think it was not that a big thing about saying that, okay, I worth this and I need to get that. And because I would never be ashamed about it. Because I was just I don't run on air, I used to say that on them, that I'm also living life and I also have need, although I did had those shitty people who would say that you're doing this for your pocket money and all that. And I'm I just never used to say anything. I was but I need money. You just need to give money. Although at certain level, I've been not given the worth which I was expected I should get, because I was new in the business, because again, I didn't value myself. I didn't value that how much I worth is. Because part of talking about money is also comes in when you find logic in it, because think about it, that if you sit down and you're okay, I do need 50,000 rupees or something for this month, just day to day. So then you already know that when you're asking a person that they need to pay 25, it's because you need to run your life, you need to run yourself, you need to run things around you. So then suddenly that shame goes off, because now it's that they owe me that. And you worth that and you need to get it. And I totally get it, maybe in India that we've been not taught to think about money as the initial or very important aspect. But the way we see, we are living in a capitalist world and we live in this world where it's all run by that. I'm not saying being greedy is other stuff, but learning the value and understanding that how you're going to use this for your own self is very important. Yeah. So for me, the struggle was different. For me, the struggle was to figure out the right amount I would need for myself to sustain, because that's also a mistake as an entrepreneur you do, that you don't understand that what should be your projection should be or how much should you charge for what. Because sometimes we think that we are charging for this month, but we are not. We are charging for the next ones also, because we are entrepreneur, we don't know when we're going to get next job, that kind of stuff. So this is what I'm at right now, and I know that was the mistake with the money with me, to think that it's like, okay, whatever negotiation, I hate that. I fucking hate it. When people negotiate, think that like, oh, we are just giving, because I work in design, in design industry, everyone think that they owe you, because just because you're making something, you're not doing something big. And it took me time to make it realize that this is a way more value product than what you think it is. I put
True.
10 years of my work in it. So again, that stuff, like, and I didn't do that early. And I know that first 2 years I used to just struggle with it, because I was like, why I'm putting so much effort to get this much of peanuts of like money, because I couldn't ask that time, because I was like, I need, that again, it's like, if I would have known, I know now,
Yeah.
like, because now I know that I know for sure, like, I'm so good with what I do. So I'm not gonna sell it for less anymore, So that's also I tell with my friends here or anyone, don't work for free. First thing, don't devalue yourself for anything. You could be new, you could be like fresh in the industry, but devalue start from when you don't take money from someone. And it's easy, just first figure out how much you want, that's it. Sometimes you're
This
gonna
is
be said no, but then that's the part of it. Like, but you learn, yeah.
this is such a
See,
brilliant point that you have put forward, the valuation part, Gunjan, because yes, a lot of people struggle with this, and even I did. Because what used to happen, that when I used to get people or clients or workshops and all, so I used to think that, oh, I've just started my business, and I used to forget I'm doing this work for last 10 years. So why am I not counting that? And then, when you it's important to have that evaluation of your own craft. Know yourself. If you're a fresher, then as per that, judge yourself, value yourself, and the number of amount of years that you have put in, portray yourself or make your services that ways. And also, I feel another important thing that a lot of people don't understand when they are valuing their services or product is that how is it going to help your client. So if a person is coming to me for business coaching, and I know after my coaching his business is going to get this much amount of profit, so I am actually giving him, if 10x growth, I also need that much money, because I am that catalyst in his growth, no? So knowing that after my workshop or after my services, how and what benefits your client is going to get, that is also one very good deciding factor, and it gives you yourself a clarity if you are confused at how you want to actually charge your services on. And going further from here, one of the most important things, because we talked in our last video about the fear emotion, we left it on hold because we wanted to discuss it in this video, because I think the life of an entrepreneur is synonymous to fear and anxiety. The fear of getting up next day and thinking that what if all this is not going to work, what if I lose my clients, if I'm going to get ample amount of money to pay the salaries of all the people who are under me, whose houses are being run because of you. So this fear of failure, fear of not earning enough, the clouds are always around you. And for that, I feel it's really important that you should be resilient and to be able to learn how to bounce back. I would like to know from you first, because I'm, comparatively newer in this field. So I want to know from you.
Okay. It's like, yeah, I'm very good with fear. It's like fear and me are best friends now, Like, that's how we live. But yes, like, fear is something which is very big in an entrepreneurial life, because fear is something, because your entire, like, how do you say, your entire life is at stake. This is how it is, because from a job, that like you can get like another job. Sometimes that also lead, like, a lot of people get stuck in job because of fear again, because fear is the one big emotion which can paralyze you, which can fog you, like, and to think that nothing gonna happen, that this entire thing about, like, you feel stationed and you just stop thinking about that it's gonna be good or something gonna get better, is something which you live with for long sometimes, because till the time it doesn't work, and till the time you find this ground where you feel confident that, okay, this is who am I, like, because that's why being an entrepreneur should always, like, I would always give this advice to people. First, figure out who you are, because once you become grounded in that, then fear doesn't take that much place. Because fear is coming out of uncertainty. Fear is coming out of you losing your hope because you doubt yourself. Or it's coming out of like that you feel that it's gonna be an end. Because every time it's gonna be, and all the people don't support you around you. Because I have felt this, like, if as an entrepreneur, the time like when I didn't feel the people around me are supportive, I would get really eaten up by that. I would get eaten up by the fear, because now I feel that I am doing something wrong because no one agrees to it. But then again, it's like, because I knew it, like that this has to come, and it is a lonely like journey sometimes, because you have to learn through it. So for me, like, working with fear is something important, that like you first, once you feel it, like that's again, that first you understand how you feel when it happens, then you work into it, like that you need to understand what kind of fears you're having. Is it finance? Is it because someone is dependent on you? Is it because you don't feel right about things, like, or it is because, I think that like differentiation should happen, because then you know how to manage it. Because the manage won't happen till the time you know what exactly you're feeling. So it's like fear, it's never gonna go. Like, it's gonna keep coming back, and like I just now started taking it as the way I feel it when this is something I also want to say, like that I think we should also start celebrating our failures to get out of this fear part of it, because fear we don't celebrate. The way I said that we can make best friends with it, and then it's gonna like never gonna come in, like, to be making you paralyzed. Then you'll be like, okay, you're back again. So now let's see, let's maybe like do a party about this and then think about it. So that's
absolutely.
Yeah. What is your take on it?
Yeah, adding to what you said, that knowing that who you are is the first thing. Once you know that this is my identity and that's what I want to do, and I just love your line in that reel that you said that I don't know anything else what to do, so that thing after that is remembering your why. So anytime that that fear engulfs you, the next thing after just remembering that okay, this is what I'm meant to do, the next thing is that why you have chosen to do this. So when you keep reminding yourself, because in my case, Gunjan, that helps. So this whenever the fear crops up, or any kind of negative self-doubt, or things, if they are not happening the way I expect them to be, and then that time I remember that why I wanted to do this, because the kind of work-life balance I've got, the way I'm able to give time to my mom and everything, I'm so grateful and I'm so happy of that. And it is happening because I took this decision to be an entrepreneur. And so I always keep remembering that, and my reason of because I have to help more and more people. So yes, remembering your why really helps you. And as you said, making friends, it's actually a very beautiful theory which is called as the immersion theory, which I always teach my students, that I used to teach in terms of public speaking. If you have that stage fear, is that the more you, like, if the way you immerse yourself in water, you have to immerse yourself in your fear. And you will get accustomed to that fear, and as you said, the fear will become your best friend. So the best way to overcome fear is immersing yourself in that fear and understanding it. Why is it happening? So as we said even in our last video, that all the negative emotions have some message. So if you are having that fear, understand, is it just a mere thought inside your head as our inner critique? Is it that which is happening? So if it is the self-doubt, then how you can work upon your self-confidence? Do you need a coach to help you build more confidence? Do you want to read more? Do you want to talk to somebody? And in case if it is some other kind of gut feeling of fear which is happening, so then what is it? And is there something that you can do to work on it? Because when you start working on it, the fear will go on itself, because then it's not the the feeling that why this fear is coming. Now you come on the what, and now you know that what next and what next needs to be done. So then it is clearer, and then your brain starts working on, the logical things. Then those illogical fears won't remain. So yes, I mean, if the fear is going to be there constantly, and in the same way the failures are going to be there constantly, it's a cycle. As we have the happy days and then we have the sad days, and the cycle keeps on moving in the same way. Even if somebody has become at the heights, is at the pinnacle of the business, they also see failures. It's not that somebody becomes, like you bulletproof, so somebody will become failure proof. It doesn't happen. We have such big examples of such big businesses also collapsing. Even if we see the Ambanis, their like Big Bazaar collapsed. Their other businesses are working well, but Big Bazaar went into drains. In the same way, Sahara is there. So it does not mean that you are a small entrepreneur or you become very big. Failures will keep happening, and the moment you accept that fact that this change, this cycle will be there in your life, I think it will be easier for you to lead a happy life with that uncertainty around.
Yes, it is. In the end, like, it's all about the joy, It's like, I just feel that it's all needs to be all about the joy of it. It's like, I think we just complicate this shit like a lot. We just complicate it like that. Why we started, like, I really love the part, like the why part, because yes, that helps a lot. Why you started? Why you started because of your own happiness. You felt good about it. And I think you just need to put yourself back to that, and then suddenly, like, everything seems to be a bit easy, because now you're like, okay, I'm not gonna die from it, so I'm gonna make something out of it, Every time it's like, I didn't die, like, I'm gonna do something now. So that's how it works for me. But yeah, so it's crazy. So if I ask you, like, so where are you at, like, with your entrepreneur journey, and how do you feel about it right now? It's like at the right stage.
Yes. I think I am at a stage where I am very much comfortable being an entrepreneur. That question that am I meant for it or am I not, was it a wrong decision, that has gone, which was there for the first year. And now I know that, as you said, now I'm grounded with this identity. And, I have seen a lot of change in my personality and my mindset also with time. I know a lot has helped me after becoming a coach and, studying neuro-linguistic programming and NLP and all those things. It has made me a better person in handling different situations. But apart from that, even being in these everyday hustles, I feel I have become a stronger person. I've become more resilient, which I was not as a person when I was working. And I feel proud of myself being what I am right now. And I think that feeling, and now my belief that I am going to make it big in the next 5 years, inshallah.
Yes,
that has become, yes, it is strong. That I have this strong gut feeling in my stomach, and I'm like, it will happen.
Yeah.
So yeah, that is the stage where I am. What about you?
Yeah, it's exactly like that. I'm just started. Like, it's like I feel I'm just starting. Like, I'm just starting this now. Because now it made sense. Like, now it makes sense, like, that what all of that was for, why I started. It's like, again, that I have become comfortable in understanding that this is it. Like, because there is no plan B to it. Earlier I always had that. I always had in the background, I was like, okay, I can do something else and everything. But now I have accepted it, that this is it, what I need to do, and I need to grow to it. And now it's like every day it just become more and more clear, because like your vision also it needs to elaborate with it, right? Like, it needs to get bigger with it. And so yeah, like, I'm in a very right space. I feel like this year was like a good time to make it work in terms of like understanding all of this, all the work I have done. And yeah, next year I'm gonna be like, yeah, it's like, I'm gonna go up. Now I'm gonna make the delusional reality. That's what I'm gonna do. It's like,
oh wow, like, this was great. I'm sure you will.
Yeah.
Yes.
Exactly.
The delusion, I would not say delusion, I'll say the daydreams will turn into reality.
I love to call it that. Because I just love it, like, I just want people to think sometimes, right? It's like, yeah, this is too big what you're asking for. I was like, yeah, because I'm gonna make it right. So you're gonna see it.
True.
So let them think that way.
So that's the power of vision, actually, Your vision, my vision, the impossible vision, and we turned it into reality. And that is what we are going to have in our workshop, where we are going to help you people out with how you can make your vision, what are the key steps, how it should be done. And yes, we are going to handhold you in the journey of turning your vision into reality as well. And we are going to share the details of this workshop very soon in the coming week itself. and hope you are going to continue in the journey the way you have been there with us in the series of the videos. You're going to be with us in the journey of the workshops also, of building yourself and owning your vision. What do you want to say on this?
Nothing. I'm totally excited. I'm just looking forward to like meet these people like who are gonna work with us, like to create their vision, their like power, like of superpowers of emotions. Like I'm really excited to bring this out, like to give this back. That whatever all we gone through, I think this is gonna be the best way to put it all together and make sure that anyone who's starting their journey don't have to go through all of this struggle in different
that we went through. Yes,
exactly. This is more of like that we're just gonna be that people which we wanted when we started. Like, so this is my idea of all that stuff. And yes, and to even like maybe find these people whom we gonna collaborate like later. So
absolutely,
never know. I'm just looking forward to that. It's like, who are these new people? But yeah,
yes. So
that's
thank
it
you
then.
so much, everyone.
Thank you.
Yes. Okay.
Yes,
Bye bye.